Email communication. Email is the most widely used method of communication within an organization. In this course, we will review how to write effective emails and avoid making embarrassing mistakes. Composing and responding to business emails. It is important to remember emails sent at work should be treated just like a formal report or letter. You must pay attention to its contents, tone, and grammatical accuracy. To, CC, and BCC fields. We all know that to and CC are generally the fields most commonly used to send emails within the organization. However, if you are sending an email to people who do not know one another, it is recommended you use the BCC field. This prevents recipients from seeing each other's email addresses. Not everyone wants their email shared with a stranger. Subject line. Realize the subject is going to be the first thing your recipient will see. You never want to leave this blank, and always make sure it accurately represents the content of the email. Keep in mind your recipients use the subject line to help decide what they will open and read first. Make sure yours doesn't get skipped. Introductions and sign-offs. Some people treat email as casual correspondence. It is important to realize none of your work-related emails should be treated as informal. Greetings and closings should always be included. The OTS policy indicates all email must be addressed or responded to promptly, courteously, and professionally. When unfamiliar, use professor or doctor if applicable when addressing faculty, deans, and VPs. In addition to the greeting, a signature is also required for all OTS emails, as per the policy. Email signature blocks must be included in CSN and Ellucian email. It should include full name, official title, office phone, confidentiality statement, see your manager for that statement. Only CSN should be added in CSN email, no reference to Ellucian. Ellucian can be added in the signature on an Ellucian email account. Do not use any email stationery. Stationery backgrounds display differently on various computers, devices, and smartphones, and can affect the formatting and content of your email messages to recipients. Stationery can make email messages unreadable or unprofessional to view. Do not make your entire signature a picture file such as a JPEG, PNG, etc. Priority symbols and read receipts. A common feature to most email clients are importance or priority symbols that can be added to an outgoing email. These symbols are often color-coded, for example red for high priority, yellow for medium, or blue for low, and they appear alongside the message in your inbox. Knowing whether or not an email needs urgent attention and knowing its subject matter are both key pieces of information for business emails. It is not recommended you use these because you should be expressing importance through your subject line rather than relying on symbols to convey importance. People who use these symbols a lot can tend to be taken as someone who is crying wolf. Don't be that kid. Another tool that is commonly misused is the read receipt. This can actually make your recipient feel as though you do not trust they will read the message and respond, in a sense forcing them to read your email. This can have the consequence of causing your recipient to respond with a more negative tone than they otherwise would have. Editing your replies. Design and formatting. Some people feel the need to add colors, bolded text, underlining, etc. to make their email come across as being digital stationery. This is never a good idea because the formatting may not be displayed well by a recipient's device. Keeping your message's formatting as simple as possible will prevent your message from being incorrectly displayed, thereby causing misinterpretation of the message. Enacting an executive presence online. Treat your emails as though you are presenting your idea to a stranger in person. The care you use in crafting your email may not only serve to get your message across, but it will also speak to your attention to detail and your overall professionalism. Here are some key points to pay attention to when you're writing your email. Point 1. Spelling, punctuation, and grammar. Emails tend to be written quickly. Use complete sentences and always use correct capitalization. People who do not know one another can be particularly harsh when it comes to judging the intelligence of another based upon spelling and punctuation, or lack thereof. Point 2. Email emoticons and acronyms. While emoticons like smiley and sad faces and acronyms like LOL, FYI, and others are used frequently within instant messenger and text messages, it is important that they not be used in emails or any business-related communications platform. Don't make the assumption that your recipient will interpret things in the same way you would. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Don't be sarcastic or try to make jokes which can and are easily misunderstood. Point 3. Don't be a spammer. Don't constantly send numerous messages on the same topic to the same person. Don't ask if they received your previous email. If the message is that important, call them or go to their office. Also, don't fall into the forwarding trap, forwarding messages you thought were inspirational, funny, or in line with your political views. It's not professional, and it can cause others to not take your future messages as seriously. Also, avoid the wall of text. Keep the information pertinent to the topic. Make sure the information you are sending supports the main idea of your message. If you need to send a large volume of text, for example, like a report, it may be best to put it in a text document and attach it to the email. Point 4. Response time. Responding to emails in a timely manner lets people know you are organized and you consider their message to be important. It is a good practice to use your best judgment on what needs replied to as quickly as possible and what can wait until you take time to respond to several messages that have accumulated in your inbox. You should strive to answer all email within a couple of hours of receiving them and at a minimum by the end of the day. Point 5. Watch your tone. Email doesn't include any facial expression or body language to allow the recipient to know how to feel about what is being said. Ambiguous statements like, "This is going to be great," can mean two totally opposite things depending upon how it was said. Avoid using statements like these to ensure your email can't be misinterpreted. Coming across as being bossy is another pitfall to be aware of. Sometimes we need to ask another person to do something in order for us to be able to achieve our objective. They may be coworkers, supervisors, or stakeholders outside of your department. While some people have no problem being told directly you need for them to finish task X so you can accomplish task Y, it is a good policy to be almost overly sensitive to their feelings. I personally like to imagine how someone will interpret my email if they're having a bad day. For example, instead of saying, "You need to sign this document so I can send it," you might try this approach. "If you would, please sign the attached document and I will pass it on to Department X." By wording it this way, we can make our recipient feel they chose to sign it rather than having been ordered to sign it. We also let them know we need to send it and someone else may be waiting on it. Sending or replying to an email when you are feeling emotional about something is generally a bad idea. Once it has been sent, it can't be taken back. If possible, wait to reply for 30 minutes to an hour. This will give you time to become more analytical about the issue rather than emotional. If you are worried about the tone of the email, send it to a trusted colleague or supervisor who can give you insight on how it might be interpreted. Then you can make a decision on whether to send the email or not. Conclusion. It only takes an extra minute or two to ensure your emails are written professionally and that your message will not be misinterpreted by your recipient. Remember, when you write an email, especially to someone outside of OTS, what you write can affect how someone perceives our entire department.